Hi, welcome to the third installment video here in this Mechanical Turk 101 series. We've already discussed how you post your first hit to Mechanical Turk, and we discussed some best practices for how the study should work, how to write an effective hit, how to pay people, what pay to pay, and how to evaluate hits and accept and reject. Now I want to show you how we do all of this on volunteer science. So a couple of highlights for what we do with volunteer science and why it'd be useful to use volunteer science. The first thing we do is reduce the tedium of manually accepting or rejecting hits, manually calculating and adding bonus payments, manually assigning qualifications. All this stuff takes a long time to look through your data, go through the Mechanical Turk system, and update each individual Turker's payment qualifications and hit status. We also make it really easy for you to test your study in the sandbox and then use that exact same study in the live Mechanical Turk system. The other half of what we do is make it easy to do the right thing. So we have a couple of pre-built screener questions that you can use. You don't have to come up with your own. We have some pre-built error compensation hits that you can use. Again, don't have to come up with your own. And then we have a clear reporting interface so you can see how many hits have been taken, how much money you've paid out for the hits, if there are any errors, and the effective pay per minute. Are you paying people fairly? Lastly, a couple of advanced things. We have a sample builder tool that will help balance out your samples. So say you want to recruit 50-50 male and female and 50-50 Democrat Republican. The sample builder tool will make it so that 25% is for men who are Republican and 25% is for women who are Republican, and so on. We also have a system for sending subjects messages. So any Turker who's finished a hit you can send a message to them and let them know the next hit is available, or the next time you're going to do hits is going to be Thursday, or whatever it is that you want to send those messages about. So let me go ahead and get to this demo. I'm going to switch over to my experiment team here, my research team. I'm going to create a new experiment. Again, this is just going to be a Qualtrics survey. So Qualtrics template for workshop. Call it whatever I want. We have a separate tutorial for how to use the Qualtrics template, so I won't go into too much detail here. Just know that you can put in whatever Qualtrics link you have here, click that update button, and you're done with creating the experiment. Now we're going to post it online. So I'm going to click the admin button up here. When I was testing it, it was very slow. So I've already opened this page. It's just experiment_admin. So I'm going to add my own category of study. So I'm going to call this workshop test. Turkers aren't going to see this particular content. Workshop test, where are you? It'll show up here. I have to refresh the page. This page is relatively slow for me because I have everybody's. There it is. Team here. So I click this little plus sign to unravel this. There's workshop test. All right, so I've created a study online. I'll just show you. If I right click on JSON test here, this page is terribly slow. Open it in a new tab. You'll see way at the bottom here. This is workshop test. So I'm going to add my experiment here. There it is, Qualtrics template for workshop. There it is. All right. Click the add experiment. It's going to show up like all of these other experiments here. So now this study here, if I press play, so refresh the page, but if I press play, it would do this survey. But for the purposes of launching a Mechanical Turk hit, all you have to do is click this Make AMT Hit link, and it's going to take you to the volunteer science version of the Mechanical Turk form. So it's the exact same thing you see on Mechanical Turk, except it's on volunteer science, with very few exceptions, and I'll show you what those exceptions are. So you would select the account that you're paying from for your Mechanical Turk hits. Don't worry about alternative link. Don't worry about frame height. Title, description, keywords are all the same. Notice the sandbox is clicked or checked. That checkbox is clicked. This means that this hit's going to go into the sandbox first. So title, description, keywords, reward, how much you want to pay. Max bonus is a volunteer science custom object that will prevent you from accidentally paying too much bonus. So one time I forgot to put the decimal in the right place, and I was trying to bonus people $100 instead of $1. So that's why that's there. Duration in seconds and lifetime in hours are the same things, how long they have to take the hit and how long the hit's available. Min unique workers and max hits per worker is custom for volunteer science. So min unique workers is the size of the batch. If you remember from Mechanical Turk's the Mechanical Turk video, they asked how many Turkers do you want to recruit. That's what this is. And this is the number of batches that you'll release. So this would be one batch of one for one person, and then we'd be launching 2 batches. So I could say, I want 10 workers, and I want 50 batches of 10 workers. That's how that works. Note again that as soon as this gets over 10%, or as long as if you have more than 10 unique workers, you're going to hit that 40% overhead. Max weight is for multi-person experiments. I'm not going to go into that so much. This is where you select the requirements that you want to require for the study, for the hit. And these are qualifications that you can grant on complete when somebody finishes. So every time somebody finishes, you can say, finish the hit, kind of thing. Lastly, you can select USA only, adults only, requires master's qualification. Again, all up to you. And this is the hit balancer. So let's, again, for the example here, we go gender. 50% male, 50% female, and we're going to do politics, again, because the math is easy. So 50% conservative, 50% liberal. Now, these are using the premium qualifications on Mechanical Turk. You can add your own qualifications here as well. Just let us know and we can put it into the system. So now we're going to do 100 hits. Let's see. Oh, yeah. If you leave this at 100 and then you click Add New Hit, it'll create 100 hits. It'll ignore these and just create 100 hits with these settings. So, 25 are going to be male equal to 1, and conservative politics equals 82, turns out. That's the key you're looking for. All right, so that's how you would create a hit in volunteer science. Now notice again that it's in the sandbox. All you'll need to do when you want to launch it live is uncheck sandbox. All of this stuff will go live when you click Add New Hit. And you're done. There's no copying and pasting the sandbox version from Mechanical Turk over into the live Mechanical Turk. Volunteer Science is running all of the code on its side, so you don't have to try and recreate your experiment from one version of Mechanical Turk to the other. Let me show you one last thing. This is the hit interface. So you get to see what it looks like. So when you post a hit to the sandbox, you get the option to activate it first. So when you first do that publish hits, it won't automatically go live. You'll need to click this activate button and it'll go live. Same thing with live, this live side. Once you create hits that are live, you need to press the activate button so that Turkers can then take them. This is the dashboard that I mentioned, so you can see the name of the experiment, when it was created. These are the number of hits that are currently available. Turkers haven't taken them yet. Next is the number of hits that have been reserved or started. Turkers can reserve a hit that they haven't started it yet. This will also tell you how many people are currently taking it. This next one is how many people have finished the hit and submitted it. and the total amount of money that you owe them. You can click this pay link to automatically pay them, or wait for the 3 days or whatever for them to automatically set. Again, it's just nice to click the pay link so they go ahead and get paid. Once you pay them, they show up here as the number of people paid and how much money they earned. Problem is when somebody submits data, but they haven't submitted the hit. So you know they finished the study, but for whatever reason they weren't able to submit the whole hit. You can go ahead and fix it. This is the total number of hits completed, and we have a formula here for pay per minute and the average minutes taken for the study. So this lets you know the true cost or the true time it takes or triggers to finish your study. Edit here allows you to edit the hit. Certain things are not editable once you activate it, but you can edit everything up into before that. Message is where you send a message, which I don't know if that's going to work. Here we go, because we haven't run any hits yet. There's nobody to take it. But here you would see the list of Turkers. You can write a subject, write the text, and send. And then administrate. This is for super users. Most users won't see that. Lastly, one thing to mention is the qualifications and requirements. This is where you add your qualification, so it can be whatever you want it to be. Again, could be name is Mouse, so the person's name is Mouse. And if you ever have somebody whose name is Mouse, you can assign this qualification. Say add qualification, and then you can create a requirement that the person's name be Mouse if you really wanted to. There's no qualifications here, so I don't have the drop down to select, but this is where you would create in our database a requirement that then you can set on an individual hit. All right, not an easy system to get going with, but it's very powerful. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can always email the organization at support@volunteerscience.com or me personally at jason_radford@volunteerscience.com. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you at our future workshops, and I will see you around.